Imagine this. You escape a potential abduction as a child, only to discover years later that the same man is still hunting you. What would you do? Run, fight, or freeze? I need to tell you something that still unsettles me. Something that stretched across nearly 7 years of my life. Looking back now, all the little moments I brushed off feel like pieces of a puzzle I didn't realize I was part of. I grew up in a quiet suburban neighborhood, tucked between open fields and endless country roads. It was the kind of place where you couldn't get anywhere without a car. And although beautiful, it often felt isolated. That isolation only grew heavier during quarantine. The first time something strange happened, I was 9 years old. My younger brother, who was 7 at the time, and I were walking our dogs toward the main road near our street. Out of nowhere, we heard a voice calling, "Hey, come here." At the end of the street sat a large white SUV. A man leaned out the window, waving us over. I remember him clearly, a tall man with curly blonde hair. My brother started walking toward him, but I grabbed his arm and pulled him back. I'd heard enough stories about kids being lured into cars to know better. We turned around and walked quickly back toward home. The man stared for a moment, then turned his car around and drove off. When I told my mom, she dismissed it, saying he was probably just lost and looking for directions. Maybe she was right, but I couldn't shake the unease. A year later, on Halloween night, something else happened. Neighbors said a black sedan had been creeping slowly behind trick-or-treaters. When one parent confronted the driver, the car sped forward and nearly ran them down before tearing off into the night. What chilled everyone was the fact that the plates had been removed. Parents were on high alert, and I was given another one of those "don't talk to strangers" speeches. Years passed, and for a while, nothing happened. Then, in the summer of 2018, I was asked to look after a neighbor's dog while they were away. Their house sat just off the main road, and every evening I'd walk over to let the dog out. One night, I lost track of time and headed over past 10 p.m. The sky was pitch black, and I only had my flashlight to guide me. When I finished letting the dog out, I noticed a black sedan parked near the driveway. It hadn't been there when I arrived. The neighbors weren't due home for days, and no one else lived nearby. My stomach sank. I slipped quietly into the woods behind their house and cut back home through the trees. For the rest of that week, I avoided the road entirely. I never saw that car again, but the unease stayed with me. Still, I told myself it was coincidence, just another weird moment. But then came quarantine. I was on the track team, so to stay in shape, I started running on the country roads near my home. For months, it was peaceful. Just me, the wind, and long stretches of quiet pavement. But about a month in, I noticed something. A white SUV, driving unnervingly slow, always seemed to appear when I was out. At first, I thought it was nothing, but soon I realized it was matching my pace, lingering just across the road from me. Day after day, for nearly 2 weeks, it kept happening. I tried changing my running schedule, going out later, but the SUV still showed up. It never stopped me, never spoke, but it was always there, watching. Then one evening, I turned down a small side street to lose it. At the far end sat a black sedan. At first, I thought it belonged to someone living there, but as I jogged closer, I saw it, the faint outline of someone crouched low, hiding beneath the car. My blood ran cold. I spun around to run back the way I came, only to see the white SUV idling at the top of the street, blocking my exit. Panic shot through me. I decided to gamble and sprint past it. As I came within a few feet, the driver's door burst open. A man jumped out and lunged toward me. I don't think I've ever run faster in my life. He chased me for several seconds before giving up, shouting after me, and he just wanted to talk. But I knew better. I didn't stop until I made it all the way home. I finally broke down and told my mom everything. She called the police, but with no plates and no proof, there wasn't much they could do. They promised to keep an eye out, but nothing ever came of it. What still shakes me to my core is the man I saw that night. Tall, curly blonde hair. The exact same man who waved me toward his SUV when I was just 9 years old. And I can't help but wonder, if I hadn't been cautious all those years, what happened? If I hadn't run fast enough, what would have happened to me? Or worse, what might still happen to someone else?